discussion with Brian. It also shows me the previous discussions that I've had with Brian right here. So I send him a message, yo. Now it's showing me that, hey, you are offline, or he's offline, do you still want to send it or not? Now let's say he does go offline because he shuts down his laptop, so he's not on Google Talk anymore, but I still want to get in touch with him. No problem. I can go to the top right and decide to send him a text instead because he still has his mobile phone on him. So I send him a text in the same view without having to go out of this application and to a different application. And it all shows up in the same chat thread. So your IM, your SMS, your MMS is all part of the same application, and all the conversations happen in the same thread. Again, the idea is, what matters is that I'm talking to Brian. It doesn't matter whether I'm talking to him on IM, on SMS, on MMS. I'm having a conversation with him, and that's the centerpiece of our design. So that's synergy for you in contacts, calendar, messaging, and email. Let's talk about the web. The web browser is obviously very important. But let me paint a scenario. It's my first time in Spain. I heard about the crazy tomato fights they have here. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. There's this town where they just, shower each other with tomatoes, and the whole town goes red by the end of it.
We do it nasty.
Okay. So I want to find out more information. Typically, the way I would do that is I would go to the web browser, and then I would go to Google, and then I would do a search. Well, but we have a full keyboard here, so why not we let the keyboard do the work? So I just press the center button and I start typing Spain tomato fight. But you're noticing what is going on. As I type Spain or just SP, it's filtering the content that I have on the device. It's filtering my contact list. I have a contact match with the letters SP, and I can contact that person on their home number or send them an email right from here without even going to the contact's address book. However, I am not interested in talking to Spartacus right now. What I'm interested in is finding about this interesting phenomenon called the Spain tomato fight. So I type that. And you notice what's going on. As soon as the device realizes that there is no result for this on the device, it will present me options on how I can get that information from the web. In this case, I decide I want to do a Google search. So then that will lead to a web page which will show me the search results for Spain tomato fight. So there's the web browser with the search results. This one looks good, so I'm going to tap on that, and that takes you to the page, and it looks very much like a page on the desktop. This is a WebKit-based browser, and we have taken it from the open source community, and we put a lot of technology on top of it. It's a fully desktop-compliant browser with HTML, JavaScript, AJAX, and CSS support. If I want to see something bigger, because this is obviously unreadable, I can double tap, and that will zoom into the column. I can also use my fingers to zoom in or to zoom out, so I can certainly control my browsing experience. Now when it comes to Flash, we don't support Flash right now. What Adobe announced on Monday is that Palm is joining the Open Screen project. The Open Screen project is, it includes a lot of industry leaders that are trying to get Flash supported on several devices, including smartphones, TVs, set-top boxes, etc. What they have announced for smartphones is that they will make Flash available for smartphones by the end of this year. So wait and watch, but not supported right now. One thing that sorry, you have a question?
On the browser, if I write a widget, can I access local things like calendar and contacts and phones through JavaScript? Because that's one really powerful way to make a browser.
That's a great question. So the question is, for people who didn't hear it, if I write a widget and so you're writing a browser page, do I have access as part of the browser page into contact data, calendar data, or not? So we are still several months away, or several months away from actually having an SDK. Those are the kinds of discussions we are still having. Whether you write a native application or whether you write a browser-based application, what level of access does a developer get? That's still a topic of discussion, but it'll be good when it comes out. All right. So the one other important thing about the browser is being able to open multiple web pages at the same time, right? We are all spoiled from the PCs. We have like 10 web pages open at the same time, and people want to do that on the mobile device as well. We want to allow them, but handle it in a very, very easy to understand way. So if you go to the browser menu and say new card, it brings up several options for me. I can either type in a URL, or I can select one of the nice looking bookmarks that I have. So let's select BBC. And that loads the BBC web page, and again it looks exactly like it would look on my desktop. I can double tap and I can zoom into the web page, and there you see it, but still too small. Maybe my dad cannot read that. So what I can do is, because I support the accelerometer, I can turn it around and I can see it in the widescreen mode. And if I'm in this demo room demoing to a bunch of people at a conference, I can turn it around like this, and you guys can read it upside down. And then when I want to read it, I can turn it back upside down for me. But the question is, what happened to that previous web page that we have opened? So we have opened 2 web pages right now. Well, again, with the power of the card view, when I press the center button, I see both the web pages open at the same time. The browser instances are completely first-class citizens in the card view. So you'll see that all the applications are open, and the multiple instances of the browser are also open at the same time. I can kill one instance of the browser, that doesn't impact the other one. They are all independent instances. So that's the power of the card view. It allows you to maintain different web pages at